The British monarchy, that storied institution that has captivated the world for centuries, finds itself at a precipice. For decades, it has survived wars, scandals, and unimaginable challenges, from the abdication crisis to public divorces, and yet, few events in its history have caused such ripples within its very core. A seismic shift has occurred, and its reverberations are felt not just within Buckingham Palace, but across the entire world. At the heart of this drama is a decision by King Charles, a decision so unexpected, so far-reaching, that it has sent shockwaves through the royal family, and it all began with a single, seemingly benign act. Princess Anne, a royal often overshadowed by the flashier personalities of her siblings, has suddenly emerged as a figure of enormous significance. Her newfound prominence is not just symbolic, but deeply consequential. She has been given a new title, elevating her role within the monarchy, and with it, casting a long shadow over Queen Camilla. The woman who had once been seen as the Queen Consort, who worked tirelessly to modernize the monarchy and stand beside King Charles, now finds herself wrestling with the harsh reality that her place within the royal hierarchy may be less secure than it once seemed. But what prompted this monumental decision? What hidden forces within the royal family led Charles, a man who had spent his entire life in the service of the crown, to make a move that no one could have predicted? How has this event exposed deep divides, not only within the royal family, but also in the very fabric of the monarchy itself? And perhaps the most pressing question, what does this decision mean for the future of the crown? It was a quiet announcement at first, so understated that few recognized its potential to ignite a firestorm. King Charles had granted his sister, Princess Anne, a new title. This, on the surface, seemed like a modest recognition of Anne's lifelong service to the crown. She had been a loyal, unflinching figure, often standing in the shadow of her more public-facing siblings, but steadfast in her duties and tireless in her work. For many, Anne was the epitome of royal service, silent, dedicated, and unyielding. Yet this title, though ceremonial in appearance, marked the beginning of a deep shift in royal power. By elevating Anne's status, Charles made a bold move that had repercussions far beyond the ceremonial. It sent a message that could not be ignored, not by the royal family, not by the public, and certainly not by Queen Camilla. Camilla, whose ascent to the role of Queen Consort had been fraught with public scrutiny, had finally managed to secure her position by Charles's side. But now, as Anne's influence grows, Camilla is forced to confront the uncomfortable reality that her place at the heart of the monarchy may not be as firmly entrenched as she once believed. The palace, once a picture of royal harmony, now seems to be a battlefield. And at the center of this storm is Charles, a monarch who must navigate his loyalties between his wife, the woman he has loved for decades, and his sister, who has quietly championed the traditional values of the monarchy. His decision, though presented as a logical next step in Anne's royal journey, has caused a rift that may prove impossible to mend. To understand the true magnitude of Charles's decision, one must take a closer look at the fraught relationship between Princess Anne and Queen Camilla. For years, Anne had been vocal about her belief in the importance of maintaining royal traditions, a view that often put her at odds with Camilla's more modernizing approach to the monarchy. Camilla had always been a force of change within the royal family, seeking to adapt the monarchy to the times, to rebrand it, if you will, to meet the expectations of a modern public. But for Anne, who had grown up under the strict governance of Queen Elizabeth II, the preservation of the monarchy's long-standing traditions was paramount. It wasn't just a matter of differing opinions on the monarchy's future, it was a matter of values. Anne believed that the monarchy's strength lay in its ability to stay rooted in history and tradition. She had long championed the cause of preserving royal customs, from formalities surrounding royal duties to the proper use of royal attire, which was not just ceremonial, but deeply symbolic. Her approach had always been more cautious, more calculated, a direct contrast to Camilla's willingness to embrace change, even if it meant breaking with tradition. The first signs of this tension surfaced during various royal events. Camilla, eager to establish her role as queen consort, made several public adjustments to royal protocol. While many of these changes were small, they were not unnoticed. Princess Anne, with her sharp sense of tradition, became increasingly frustrated. The final straw came during the coronation, a day that was meant to symbolize the unity of the royal family, but instead became a battleground for the monarchy's future. The showdown, the coronation dinner and the breakdown of civility. At the coronation dinner, a private affair meant to honor King Charles's ascension to the throne, the cracks in the royal family's facade finally came to light. What should have been a celebratory event quickly descended into chaos. Princess Anne, frustrated and unwilling to remain silent any longer, reportedly confronted Camilla in front of the entire royal family. Anne, known for her no-nonsense attitude, did not mince words. In a rare public outburst, she accused Camilla of undermining the monarchy's traditions, and, more shockingly, of overstepping her bounds. This confrontation, a public clash between two powerful women within the royal family, was unprecedented. Royal dinners had always been carefully choreographed affairs, with every word and gesture scrutinized by the public and the press. But on this night, Anne was said to have thrown caution to the wind, letting her frustrations boil over into a verbal tirade that left Camilla visibly shaken. The scene was nothing short of dramatic. The calm, composed Camilla, who had spent years working to secure her place, now seemed utterly disarmed. She left the dinner early, and the royal family, once united in public spectacle, was left in a state of palpable tension. In the wake of the coronation dinner, Buckingham Palace issued a carefully worded statement. The palace insisted that Anne's new title was simply a natural progression of her role within the family and the monarchy. The announcement did not mention the underlying tensions, or the impact that Anne's newfound power had on Camilla. Yet, it was impossible to ignore the implications. Anne's promotion signaled a shift in the balance of power, one that would have far-reaching consequences. For Camilla, the shock of this decision was palpable. While the public may have viewed her as a secure fixture in the royal family, the events of the coronation dinner exposed a vulnerability that had long been hidden beneath the surface. Despite her efforts to modernize the monarchy and her unwavering loyalty to King Charles, she was now faced with the reality that her position was not as unassailable as she had once believed. In private, insiders reported that Camilla was devastated. She had worked tirelessly to secure her place as queen consort, enduring years of public scorn and personal sacrifice. Yet, now, it seemed as though her efforts were being undermined by the very man she had stood by for decades. King Charles, who has always prided himself on his commitment to the monarchy and his sense of duty, now faces the most difficult challenge of his reign. Torn between his loyalty to his wife, Camilla, and his duty to the crown, he must navigate a family in crisis. His decision to elevate Anne, while strategically sound in some ways, has now created a fracture within the royal family that may prove impossible to mend. Charles, deeply affected by the tension between his wife and sister, is said to have struggled with his decision. His actions, though decisive, are not without consequence. The damage has been done. The royal family, once a bastion of unity and tradition, now finds itself at a crossroads. Charles must now decide whether to attempt to heal the rift between Anne and Camilla, or to let the chips fall where they may and risk further destabilizing the monarchy. The monarchy stands at a critical juncture. The events that have transpired in the wake of King Charles's decision have exposed deep divisions within the royal family. What once seemed like an unshakable institution is now, in many ways, fractured. Princess Anne, with her newfound power, has become a symbol of royal tradition and loyalty. Camilla, once the unquestioned queen consort, now faces an uncertain future. King Charles, as monarch, must decide which path to take, one that could either restore unity or tear the monarchy apart for good. As the drama unfolds within the royal family, the future of the British monarchy hangs in the balance. Will it evolve into a new era, one that embraces change while preserving its traditions? Or will it succumb to the internal strife that now threatens to consume it? For more behind-the-scenes royal updates and exclusive insights into the palace drama, subscribe now. Stay informed as the royal family's future unfolds, because the crown may be in danger, but so too are the secrets that surround it.